I'm Leo London, welcome back to my channel, and this is match 2 of my best of 3 match series against Dino Dylan. Now hopefully, I'm going to be able to make a comeback and win this game so we can go on to match 3, and I don't get shut out 2-0. But it's not easy. I'm going against a very skilled player. He's got a regional top, 4 OTS qualifier tops, and I have 0 tops. As I've only been to 1 regional to begin with, never mind topped 5. So he's an expert with the deck. They call him Dino Dylan for a reason, and I'm still testing out a rogue strategy. So I've changed up the side deck a little bit. I'm going to take it to task, and this time I'm going to win. I'm not going to let him 2-0 me, and I'm going to force that game 3. We're going deep into overtime on this one. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and check out my Patreon. This month, if you become a $5 or higher backer, you are automatically entered into a draw for an ultimate rare Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. Now every month, you'll get your name entered into a draw for a card. It won't be an ultimate rare every month, but it will be an ultimate rare again in December, where we are doing a draw for Ignister Prominence, the Blasting Draco Slayer, ultimate rare. Now, let's get into game 2 and see if I can force that game 3.
Activate.
Sure.
Normal summon. Lost world effect to give you a token. Summon pass. Ouch. If that was over.
With my opponent unable to make any real plays, I only have to worry about his face down card, so I begin my turn by discarding Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon from my hand to the graveyard in order to search the deck for a Supreme King Dragon Darkworm and add it to my hand. Then I discard a second copy, as Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon is not a once per turn effect, to search the deck for Lechery and add that to my hand as well, ensuring that I have the spell lock and the +1 from summoning the Darkworm. Now I've started to pick up the final pieces to construct my M board. I scale the Lechery and then activate Draco Face Off. Now what I'm really trying to do is bait out any Ash or negation, and there it is. It's met with an Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, which means I'm free to go off. I activate Duelist Alliance to search out the Pendulum Call. Now that's why Draco Face Off is such a good card. It's a amazing Ash bait, because if they don't Ash it, you get a free level 8 Synchro, and if the tuner ends up being the card that's special summoned, I can normal summon the Darkworm, and I have the same combo, but instead, I use the Duelist Alliance to search out the Pendulum Call, then use the Pendulum Call to pitch the Darkworm. So my opponent is in a really bad way right now, as I open 2 of the strongest possible cards in the entire deck, a way to get Pendulum Call and Draco Face Off. Those 2 in combination are absolutely savage. And I search out a Dragon Collar Magician and a Performer Pal Celestial Magician, a card that's not in the deck anymore, and it won't make it to the 3rd duel, as I will be replacing it with a double Iris Magician and a Black Fang Magician. I'm unable to search the Gate 0 because I won't be able to special summon the Darkworm due to my opponent's tuner from Lost World. So I just normal summon the White Wing Magician and link summon with the token and the tuner into Halki Fibrax. Halki Fibrax will search the deck for Effect Veiler. Then I scale my Dragon Collar Magician. Now, the reason Dragon Collar Magician is in the deck is specifically for situations like this, where I don't actually have a dragon to go into the Guard Dragon play to bring out the Goliath. It's my way around that, as he managed to prevent me from being able to special summon the Darkworm. If I didn't have the Dragon Collar, I wouldn't be able to go into the Guard Dragon plays. I then link summon into Selene. Selene brings back the Effect Veiler, and then I link summon up into the Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess. There's nothing left for me to do except Pendulum Summon out a Harmonized Magician, a Performer Pal Celestial Magician, the White Wing Magician, and then Harmonizing Magician's effect activates and special summons another Magician from the deck, giving me a total of 4 materials to work with. Now again, without the Dragon Collar, I have no dragons. I can't go into the guard dragon combo, but I'm going to fix that through one means or another. I link summon first into Borreload Savage Dragon, attaching Selene to give me 3 counters on Savage Dragon for an Omni Negate. Then I Synchro Summon into the Ignister Prominence, the Blasting Draco Slayer, and I incorrectly put the White Wing Magician in the extra deck. She should be banished, but luckily it doesn't matter. And here I also incorrectly summoned the Vector Pendulum. My Ignister is German, and I did not realize that he can't actually bring out the Vector. He would have had to bring out a Luster, but either way, it didn't impact the game at all, as it was going the same way, as my opponent wasn't able to interrupt the play. I use Ignister to spin back his face-down card in the back row by destroying my Dragon Collar Magician using Ignister Prominence, the Blasting Draco Slayer's effect. I then enter the battle phase and attack for game. And an easy victory in round 1.
Yes. Possibly.
Sure, chain Artifact Lancia.
Chain Whisk.
Is that good or bad?
We'll find out.
My Lancia go through though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, did you hear that?
No.
That was my hip popping.
I want this one, but I know it's worth a lot. Funny thing is, I think this is the Leo you gave him.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what to do in this position. It's super awkward.
Do you care?
I don't know. He'd have to check the prices.
No.
Yeah, let him do. That's fine. Normal summon effect.
Sure, yep.
I think you just have to give up on doing something. You don't have much in terms for this one. Go ahead.
Whoa.
That hurts.
Not opening super strong and playing with 5 cards instead of 6 due to me using Artifact Lancia, but thankfully being able to shut down most of my opponent's turn because dinosaurs are really hurt by not being able to banish cards, and my opponent didn't see his Lost World. So I'm still feeling pretty confident. So I at first use Instant Fusion to summon Millenniumize Restrict. Then I use Allure of Darkness to draw 2 cards. Then I pitch Darkworm, or Odd Eyes Revolution Dragon rather, to search out the Lechery to engage the Spell Lock, hoping to lock my opponent out from ever using Lost World to begin with, followed by yet another Allure of Darkness to draw 2 cards, banishing another one from my hand. Having used 2 of them now, I've drawn 4 cards, searched out another one. I'm really hoping that I'm able to finish off my opponent in a single turn, but it's not looking like I'm going to be able to, as I haven't been able to draw too many of the vital combo pieces. I scale the White Wing Magician, which is never a good sign, and then I set the Lechery as my high scale. I'm then met with a Twin Twister. Now, had he not have Twin Twistered me, I would have been fine here, but because he did, I was absolutely boned. Without scales, I concede and we move on to game 3. Finally being able to go first for the first time this game, I activate Foolish Burial and send Supreme King Dragon Darkworm from the deck to the graveyard. Now I'm searching specifically for my secret rare because we all know that the higher the rarity, the better it is. I then search out the gate 0 because I don't think my opponent is going to Ash Blossom the search for the gate 0 if he's not going to search the Foolish Burial. Then I normal summon Luster Pendulum, the Draco Slayer, and link summon with the Darkworm and him to form Halki Fibrax. Halki Fibrax will then perform the play that's been formed multiple times in this duel already and special summon out the Effect Veiler. Then I will go into another Link monster. Almost. Before realizing that if I do that, I don't have enough counters to actually activate Celine's effect. So I quickly retracted and saved myself a game loss for making a critical error. But luckily I realized the error just in time and corrected. Now with the gate 0 and the Letri setting my scales, it's safe to use the Celine to bring back the Effect Veiler to go into my Appaloosa. Now my opponent's window to hit me with the Nibiru is past. I now have counters to stop hand traps and I'm free to go. Yeah, at this point I know my opponent can't stop me, or he would have already. He does not want me to ever get to this point. I then activate the Pendulum Call to add 2 Magicians from the deck to my hand, one of them being Harmonized Magician, the other one being Performer-Pals Celestial Magician. Again, one of the cards I decided to cut and change for Game 3, and just to maximize the deck's potential, I think. My thinking is that it's going to be more beneficial to be able to bring down monsters that I can't get over attack stats, like Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. So that's what I did here. Then I Pendulum Summon Harmonizing Magician, Performer-Pals Celestial Magician, Luster Pendulum the Draco Slayer, and Supreme King Dragon Darkworm. Harmonizing Magician will then special summon out another Magician, and I have 5 materials to play with. This is not going to go well for my opponent, who is facing down a full board of materials, including 2 tuners, and more than enough materials to ensure that I am able to go through the Guard Dragon play and end with Goliath, locking him out of spells, the extra deck, setting up multiple negations, and big bad boss monsters that he's not going to be able to get through without some kind of spell support. So I'm very confident that I'm going to be able to win this in Game 3 just by completing my standard combo. First thing I do is make Borreload Savage Dragon. Then I attempt to Xyz summon, but I realize that I have to do that second and actually Synchro summon using the Luster Pendulum, the Draco Slayer, and the Darkworm to form at Ignister Prominence the Blasting Draco Slayer, and then use his effect to special summon out, again, Vector, which is an error. I can't actually do that. It would have to be Luster or Master Pendulum, but luckily it doesn't matter in this case. As I go into Elpie and special summon out the Goliath. So it would have been the same result regardless had I realized this before. That's why you always have an English copy around at tournaments, just to prevent little mistakes like that. But luckily, again, it just doesn't impact the outcome of the game. And in the end phase, having activated Performer-Pals Celestial Magician's effect earlier in the turn, I'm able to search out any Pendulum monster and add it to my hand, giving me plays in the next turn. Adding Harmonizing Magician, my opponent shows me his hand and reveals that he can't make any plays. He normal summons Ovi, I simply negate it, and his entire turn is stopped. So he concedes because he's aware that he would just get OTK'd, not being able to put anything on board. So we have forced the Game 3.